Yeah, that's the one that's picking something up. Okay, cool. And then you can just mute the other ones.
No sound. How about now?
Okay, well they're all on, so.
Should I turn off the other ones?
I guess
Leave
so.
them.
Yeah, turn off the other ones. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
So this one?
Yeah, turn that one off.
And this one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cool. Okay.
Cool.
Cool. So, thank you guys for helping us out there with the sounds. If you've tuned in before, that's pretty much par for the course for us. Okay, so today we are going to be playing around with a bunch of beads that came in the last Best Bead box for June. It's June, right? Is that what?
Yeah, June.
Is that what month we're in? Okay.
That's what this paper says.
Okay. That's what our notes say. Cool. So we're gonna play around with some of the beads and make a cool. It's either a key fob or if you want to add it, make some kind of cool fringe to put on a purse or a necklace. You can actually make it into a cool pendant, like Jenni's gonna show you. So Jenni, since you have the mouse and you chose to sit on that side, go ahead and take us down to our view where we're gonna be on the mat.
This one.
Cool, yeah. So we have some of the materials set out. Cool, okay, great. Yeah, let's keep this view up.
Okay.
So I have the materials laid out that we're gonna use. And this is one of those projects that's extremely versatile. You can use almost anything that you have on hand. So I'm using today, we have some of these bead caps here, and they're pewter, and they're just, I love the texture on these. Let me bring my mat down a little bit so you guys can see. So I love the texture on these. They look like the tops of like strawberries or little berries or something. Yeah, so they're great if you want to do something. Hi, oh, Iceland, hi. Oh, tropical necklace. Okay, so we have our bead caps, and then really you just need an assorted number of beads. So you're gonna have, we have pearls here, and we have pearls in a variety of different colors. So I'm just gonna put them all out here. I love pearls.
Me too.
I love like any kind of, glass pearls are great, but I love the natural pearls because I like the irregularity of them too. So I have a whole bunch of different pearls. I have some spacer beads too, these daisy beads in the check glass, and they're really fun because if you like the look of like a spacer, they're a really nice alternative to the metal. And then we have some gemstones here. And again, really just any variety of beads that you want to use, just single hole beads. So it's a great stash buster. I feel like these days I'm the queen of the stash busters because I just love making things that are really versatile, and also I'm just using a lot of stuff for my stash. So I have tons of stuff at home that I don't, you know, all those little bits that I take home and I play with, and then, okay, and then I also have some seed beads.
Just those.
Yeah.
I'll steal the rest from you.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, we can just steal from there. Beautiful, loved it a ton. What are you talking about?
Tropical necklace?
I see, that's the problem if I don't keep up with all of the comments. They come in the middle. But I'm sure it's lovely. It has a heart to it. Beautiful idea. Loved it.
Oh, beautiful idea. I think she's talking about this.
Oh, okay, cool. Warm and sunny in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I live in Pennsylvania too. I live like 20 miles up the road from here. So every day I cross the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
And then you're also going to need whatever you want to use to attach it. So if you're hanging it on a purse, or if you're hanging it on your keychain, like we call it a key fob, these are really great. These clasps here, and these are the oval clasps, and they come with the 2 rings. So all you have to do is you push this little bar in, and the rings come on and off. So it's great to, if you want to add something to each one of these rings, and then you can interchange it. So you can also use it like that. So you can interchange like what you're hanging off of. Yeah, because if you're attaching it to like a key ring, you really only need the one ring, the one smaller ring. So then you've got that one if you want to do a couple different key fobs and switch them out. Yeah. So we're using these, and we're going to use the brass color. But then also in the June box, you got a lobster clasp, a large lobster clasp, and that's also perfect. So these are great too, and they have that design on them. So it's, again, just like kind of adding to that like flair to it. So, okay, let's get started. What are you using? You
Same thing you're using.
Well, I know, but I mean, you have. Do you want to show the ladies at home what color palette you're working with?
Same as Anna's, but I got these pearls.
Yeah. Are you going to use all the things here, or?
Oh, I haven't gone that far.
Okay. You just.
I got as far as these pearls and these seed beads.
That's cool. That's fine. So the first thing that I did to start this is I just am going to pick up a big loop of seed beads. And I'm going to use all 11 O's, but you can use, of course, whatever size you want. 8 O's would be great too.
How many?
Just a big loop. That's all the instruction I'm going to give you, Jenny.
Big loop.
Big loop.
Okay.
So the big loop is actually going to go around whatever you're attaching it to.
Oh.
So this is going to be the loop that you build everything else off of. I'm attaching it around, so I took this ring off of the clasp. I'm just going to work on that, and then I'll attach it to the clasp afterwards. But I just need a big enough loop, probably like, I would say big enough to go like around your pinky. So I would say at least like 25 beads or so. And depending on what kind of beads you're going to hang down from it and how big you want it to be or how small you want it to be, you can of course add more or less. But you want maybe about 25 beads. Are you counting?
I have 18.
Oh, you gotta get some more, Jenny. Yeah, about 20 to 25. And then loop them around. And this is for anybody who's done beading before, seed beading. This is a really familiar thing to do. Nothing real crazy magical about this. We're going to make a loop. Oh, I forgot to attach it to my key ring.
Oh.
So the key, in making the key, Anna, is there a wire guard that will fit? I'm not using any wire guards on this.
Are they saying that they want to?
I
guess you could.
Jenny, move over a bit to the right.
Oh.
She wanted to be on that side, so she wasn't as prominent.
It's right in the middle, because I'm just learning.
She's calling you out. She's like, Jenny, move over. We want to see you. So is there a wire guard that will fit? I don't use a wire guard at all in this. Yeah, so I wouldn't really recommend using a wire guard, but
because the seed beads act
as a wire guard because you're going to need a big loop so you can then hang everything down off of. So yeah, you're not going to need any kind of wire guard for this. So the key, which I forgot, was you're going to take your seed bead and then, what size needle? Any size
10.
needle. Yeah, 10, 11, 12. Any of like the standard size needles that we use for beading, anything that's going to go, fit through your 11 seed beads. With the pearls though, if you are using the natural pearls, they do tend to have a smaller hole. You usually can get a size 10 through it, but if you have natural pearls that are going to have smaller holes, so you have smaller pearls, they're going to have smaller holes, you might need to go down to a size 12. So I would just gather your materials first and then just make sure that your needle can go through whatever the smallest bead is that you have. So I'm going to take my string of 11 seed beads, and I'm going to take it around the clasp, or the ring in my case, that I'm going to attach to the clasp. Because this is then going to be what I build the rest of my project off of. And I'm going to just make that loop, just complete that by going through the seed beads again. Now I have, what did you give me, Mayuki KO or, oh, 1G, okay. Mm-hmm. So Jenni gave me 1G, so this is a lot thinner. Well, I should say it's more thread-like.
Do you like it?
I do like it for some things, and I really like it for something like the project we're doing today that's going to be
going back and forth.
Going back and forth, something like a fringe, yeah, because it's a lot more, it drapes well. I'm not quite sure what the perfect word is for that. I'm sure there is one.
Flow? No, drapes is better.
Yeah, drapes is always the word that I use, but I feel like there's a better word. I haven't seen Mandy hop on yet.
Mandy.
Mandy, where are you? So Mandy's our moderator today, because the people who usually are moderators are shepherds. Because we're like, Jenni and I are just like a couple of lost little sheep. I mean, we're generally a couple of lost little sheep, so we need a moderator to help keep us in line and share links with you and all that kind of good stuff that we can't do when we're blabbing and beading. Okay, so Mandy is there. Okay, I thought maybe Mandy was like, oh yeah, I'll moderate, and then she went out to get a drink. Okay, so we haven't needed you yet, Mandy, but just it's good to know you're there. So I just created a big loop of seed beads here, and I'm going to start creating. Mandy's an accountant and does not bead. I will do my best. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start basically building a fringe off of these 11 seed beads.
Oh, so you went to the center. You went
halfway
around from the tail.
Yeah, if you go about halfway around from the tail, it just keeps the tail out of the way, so you're not getting it confused with your fringe. Yeah. Although that wasn't calculated on my part, but I'm glad you pointed out.
Okay.
It makes me look way smarter. So now what I'm going to do is just, coming out of whatever 11 you're coming out of, go ahead and just kind of have fun with any sort of pattern on your fringe. I like to add a lot of 11s at the beginning of the fringe, at the very top of the fringe.
Are they going to be underneath that?
Yeah, so
those beads?
Yeah, so you can, if you can see, there's actually three, what do you call it? Kind of like three little ropes that I twisted around of seed beads, and that's going to hold everything together at the top. We're going to add that at the very end. So you don't have to worry about where your fringe first comes off of that loop that you made. You don't have to worry about it looking like really nice, because you're going to go ahead and cover that.
But you definitely want nothing but seed beads up there.
Yeah, so you want nothing but seed beads. Add a good amount of seed beads, like maybe half an inch or so, because you want to have enough seed beads hanging down so that we can then go back and cover it with that little rope effect. So you want to have, I would say about an inch or so. And of course you're going to do the fringe all different lengths, but I would start with your longest one. So
that's smart for the aesthetics.
Yeah, I'm going to start at the longest one, and then that way, let me move this up a little bit, and then that way I will know how to gauge how long I want all the other ones. This would be a good use for charms. Yeah, exactly. It'd be great. Anything, but yeah, especially charms too, because they're gonna have that nice. They're gonna hang real well. So I'm gonna pick up a couple more beads here, and then.
Oh yeah, longest one.
Yeah, so we're going to do our longest one. And I'm really just going to kind of have fun with any kind of arrangement that I want. There's really nothing right or wrong about this. And this would also be a great project for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Or like young beaders. As long as you're old enough to use the needle. I would say that would be my only prerequisite there. Also, since somebody had mentioned the charms, you can also do something like this and add, instead of beads at the end, you can add little jump rings, and then you can then attach charms, maybe as you find charms different places, and just kind of build up your
a little collection of where you've been.
Kind of like a charm bracelet, but it's a charm key fob.
Yeah.
A charm fob.
Charm fob.
Yeah. There we go. That's something. That's my claim to fame. I developed the charm fob.
Oh.
So I just picked up a pearl that was drilled like a teardrop. So if you have one of those teardrop shaped beads, what I'm going to do here is, instead of picking it up and just going straight through it and then having it kind of hang funky to the side, I'm going to pick up a few beads here for the side, and this will be clear in a second. Pick up another few beads when I pass through that drop bead, and then I'm going to bring these 3 beads down. So that will then give me 3 beads on either side, and I'm going to go through the 4th bead on top of that drop, and there we go. So then I've just created a little veil, sort of like a little, yeah. Okay. So I think that's probably good for my longest one. I like these colors together too.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty.
It's kind of fruity. I like that about it. It's kind of fruity. And since I have a thinner thread, I might even go through some of these a couple times. It's nice to have the thinner thread because then it's going to drape really well.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes if you have bigger or heavier beads, you may want to go through a couple times just to reinforce it, so that the more wear and tear it gets, and especially if it's something that's going to be flaring around.
Yeah.
Flailing around. If it's going to be flailing around, you want to make sure that you've got it, pretty well reinforced. So what I'm going to do on this longest one here is I'm just going to go all the way back through all my beads that I added to the fringe here to create that fringe. And then once I get back up to the top where I created my first loop of seed beads, I'm just going to pass through to the next seed bead, and then I'm going to do another fringe, another piece of fringe off of that.
Can I show what I do when I'm stuck in a pearl?
No. Go back in the corner, Jenny. Yeah, no, of course.
Can I have a flat nose plier?
It's not even
That's
happy.
a scissor. Pink.
Thank you. Thank you. I needed that. Hand me my coffee.
Great.
No, seriously, hand me my coffee. Thank you.
Okay, so let me get my hand in here. If you get
Remember
stuck
to like and share the video.
that too. So look here. If you get stuck in a little tiny pearl, oh, that's cute.
Purse charm.
I like to take my flat nose pliers and push up from the bottom, and then pull up from the top, just on the needle, not on the thread, and hope that I don't break the pearl.
So Jenny, you didn't.
This is grease. This is grease. Shoot. Shh. sorry.
There is grease on those, I noticed. Yeah, that happened to me in a video or something, and I was like trying to cover it up. No, I didn't point it out like you did. I tried to like cover it up like there's got something on me. Those aren't our brand, so if you get our pliers that don't say the brand out loud, they're just floating around in here.
I was just trying to see where it came from, but I can't. I don't know.
Someplace greasy.
Greasy.
I don't know. What did? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So she was saying she does the same thing with the flatness.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and so did you purposely not pick up a ring?
Yeah, remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Sorry. I love what you did there. How you did the graduated.
Thanks.
Yeah, can everybody see that?
So
So she did just a little graduated. That's adorable.
thanks. See if I can get back to this little teeny one.
Yeah, I use my pliers a lot because I tend to go through beads many times.
An absurd amount of times.
An absurd amount of times. Especially when I'm trying to design because you're not really sure what you're gonna do, so then
Backtrack.
you just backtrack and you're going back through and you're like, oh, maybe I want to add this, and then you have to go back through and you realize, oh, I could have done it a way easier way, but of course I didn't because I didn't know what I was going to do.
Thankfully, by the time the tutorial rolls around, you got it streamlined.
Yeah, mostly because Allie's figured it out, and yeah, she would always tell me, like, there's so much thread. I'm like, yeah, but figured it out. Cute. So I really like the fruity kind of color, so I think I'm going to do, yeah, I think I'm going to kind of keep the fruitiness going here. Yeah, these tiny little pearls, they have the smallest hole, but still, they're pretty manageable.
Yeah, I don't give up on them because one of them I had a hard time getting down through the first time, and it didn't occur to me that I might have trouble the second time, but I didn't.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Good.
They have little legs.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, just like little legs. Cool. Yeah, so we're just adding things. Hi, just joining from warm and sunny Oregon. Ooh, Oregon. I've never been to Oregon. I've never been to a lot of places. I feel like I would like the Southwest though. Have you been to the Southwest?
Yeah, with you.
Well, I mean, like other than that,
Oh.
like for like an actual
Fun.
for things, yeah. Because when we went together, it wasn't fun.
It was fun, but it was
but
work.
it was work. Yeah.
We were pushing beads.
We were pushing beads.
I really like Washington. That's the Southwest, but
the West, okay, West Coast,
Yeah.
anywhere in the West Coast.
yeah, in California it's lovely.
Yeah, well, I have been to California a bunch, mostly San Diego. I've not gone to Northern California. Oops. Oh, we got that tied around. Okay, there we go. Oh, I like what you're doing over there.
Look, colors.
The
now.
folks at home can't see it, though.
What if I show it after I put it on the string?
Okay. That's not how television works. You're working
It's behind my head.
in none of those states are the Southwest. They're not really. No.
Oh,
we don't know.
Yeah, well, we've been to Arizona. That's Southwest.
Yeah, I've been to Arizona.
It was very pretty.
I really loved Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
I know that people say that Austin, Texas is not like the rest of Texas, and that's fine. I've never really been to Arizona in the house. Arizona in the house. Yeah, I think I would really like Arizona. I've been to Tucson. For the Tucson Rock and Gem show. Or there's so many different shows. So it's Rock and Gem and whatever whatever else they happen to have going on. If anybody has not been to the Arizona Rock and Gem show, I'm sure lots of you guys have not, absolutely you should find some time to go because it's amazing. And it's right around my birthday. It's in February. So it's, if you live like where we live, it's cold, but then it's so nice to go to Arizona.
Yeah, that was lovely. Yeah, a little rocky getting there in the snow.
But I remember that one of the times that we went, my birthday, because it's like the beginning of February, and so I had my birthday while we were on that trip, and we went through a McDonald's and Allie got me an ice cream cone for my birthday. Big spender. Spent a whole $1 on me. It's okay.
And probably had a coupon.
Yeah, probably had a coupon. So mine's getting pretty colorful. And I'm just kind of adding to the base. And so what you can do is you can also go through, because you're going to have a lot more strands coming down than you probably don't want to go through only the seed beads at the top by your loop, because then you'll just have, they'll come like, they'll be bulky. Like too high or too bulky, yeah. So what you want to do for some of them is go partially through some of the some of the fringe that you've already started and just branch off of it. And at the very top here, where your fringe meets your loop, don't worry about making it too perfect, because that's why we're going to cover it later. Because it looks much nicer when you cover it.
I took mine off because it ended up being the exact same length as the other one.
Oh.
And then you don't want it to be too similar.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't. You don't want it to be too similar because you want it to be kind of fun and different. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of this, is just to have something really, really funky. This would also be a great thing to do with birthstone colors, because it's a nice little reminder if you're not really big into wearing jewelry. You could do something like this and just have different birthstone colors for kids or grandkids, your pets, whatever.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and then you have it with you all the time, but you don't have to wear it. It's also a great way to make the end of a bookmark.
Oh, man, you're full of the good ideas.
I have too many. I can't do them all. So I like the idea of doing something kind of graduated with the color, like keeping my darker colors on top and then putting the brighter colors down at the bottom.
I like that.
Yeah.
So that's,
that too.
I did the opposite. I put the light colors at the top.
I like that. But you know, there's really a lot of sense to that, because when you look at things visually, you also have to think about
balance,
like the balance. And when you see things visually, let's say like a picture or painting, if you have white on the top and black on the bottom, that feels better because black is like a heavier color. So it feels like it should sink to the bottom. So I'm doing mine backwards. I don't know.
That also makes it funky.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to do something a little bit more unsettling and avant-garde and like not natural, they're not, maybe, I shouldn't say not natural, but something that makes your viewer feel a little bit more like, ooh, like think about it a little bit more. Do something that, yeah, it's kind of the opposite. Please mail to right. Mandy, I've lived in Clovis.
Yeah, that's a message for Mandy.
That I can't pronounce. Oh, an accounting professor. So, Mandy, no excuse. She's watching and she beads. You got to get into beading. Oh, I like what you're doing. You got to get on the mat. You have such pretty things over there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. So I'm going to make the top here pretty full, I think. I'm going to do this real nice and full. So I'm going to add a bunch of my little blue beads here.
Your pearls?
Yeah, my little blue pearls. So I'll have a bunch of short pieces up here. And then I want to do, then I need to add some more color in the center. Cute. So
I want some of these, but I don't want to take them all.
Oh no, take them. I don't need all of them. This would also be a great thing to do with, if you have like a beading group and you guys do some kind of a, like a bead exchange.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, because then, I just had that idea when you took my beads.
Shoot, I don't have anything to give you in return.
No, I'm joking. But I did think of it when you were like, oh, can I use these? I'm like, yeah, of course, they're out there. But it would be a really fun thing to do if you have a beading group or if you've just some friends that like to bead and you say, hey, like, bring all the things that you don't really know what to do with, or you're like, you have like your little stash of extras. That would be an awesome thing. Because sometimes people have things that you wouldn't necessarily buy or you wouldn't think you would like, but then when you see it used,
love it.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, so I have blue, so I'm gonna do some greens. Let me add some.
Sorry.
I'll fight you for that bead. I surround myself with beautiful, talented, and creative friends. I thought that was somebody else, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And I was like, oh, it's Mandy.
That means that she steals our jewelry.
Yeah. I think that is what she means.
I stole all these flowers from you, and now I'm taking them back off. Oh, stuck. It's so hot in here.
It is kind of hot in here, yeah. We have a lot of lights on. So many lights.
All the lights.
I didn't think about it today, but my shirt is like olive green, so I was wondering if I would.
Oh.
But I'm actually doing pretty good so far. I
It must be dark.
Yeah. So I'm curious, like, what's the longest that anybody has held on to some beads without using them? Because usually after, I don't know, like a month or two, if I haven't used them,
You get rid of them?
I give it to grab bags, or like I do something. Yeah, I don't know.
I have some I bought on my honeymoon.
Oh, do you really?
Mm-hmm. Still haven't used
What did
them.
you get?
They are just a mixture of, because it was from the Outer Banks, so it was a mixture of some gems, some glass, mostly some gems. Yeah, but I look at them. Sometimes I use a few, and then I unuse them and then put them away.
What kind of gems?
Like mother of pearl, I had some pretty turquoise.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've got beads from 1991.
I think you win.
I think you win. So what are they? What are your 1991 beads? And how do you know that it was 1991? I mean, do you have like the date, or is it just like something special, like Jenni got on her honeymoon, so she probably remembers the year?
Wow.
What is the email for customer service? Oh, what's the email for customer service?
Hello?
It is. I think it's hello@potomacbeads.com now. Yeah. You can also go to the website and go to contact us. She's calling customer service to complain about us, Jenni.
With the video.
Probably. That's okay. We can take it. I have some from 17 years ago. Oh, and Mandy just posted the email for customer service, yeah. I too have beads from the late 1990s. Oh, hit show?
There you go.
Oh, there you go. For some reason it was blocking her comment, like...
I think because it's an email address, I guess.
Oh, maybe. Maybe they want our approval to make sure that we're good with sharing that. So what? I wonder what it is about the 90s that everyone's got beads from the 90s. Oh, 1990 was a rough guess. 1989 and 1992 when I was in college. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, what are they? Are they puka shells or... I like repurposing old jewelry too. Because some of those beads, they were made only for that one project, like for that one designer. And then they, you know, you can't go get them at the craft store. So I like what I have going on here.
That's really cute.
Yeah, I don't feel like I need to add a whole lot more to it. I feel like it's pretty well balanced. I'm pretty happy with it. Let me see yours. Oh, no, you're just going above and beyond. What are you doing? Just showing me up.
No, I just put the little picot like you did on the bottom, but I put a couple in a line.
Oh, I love that. That's adorable. That gives it like a viney sort of look. Yeah.
Because when I went so heavy with the 2 strands of beads that now when I put on more beads, it looks weird.
Oh. Oh, it looks nice though. Oh, and I like how you put the daisies at the bottom. I don't think they can see. I like how when you put the daisies at the bottom, they are the same color as the beads.
Thanks.
There was a wonderful bead shop in the Ohio State University campus. Oh my gosh, there's a bead store or bead shop at the university? Man, I don't make colleges like that anymore.
Unless it's the Gem Institute. They might have one.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait, now you're confusing me. Do you mean there's like a good gem thing at Ohio State? Like, do they do a major in...
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. That place.
I thought maybe you were trying to say that Ohio State was known for like...
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, branching. Yeah, it is kind of like creating like that corally sort of effect. Instead of just doing like a straight fringe, which yeah would just be like straight hanging down. Um, porcelain beads. Yeah, paper center lampwork. Oh, the paper center lampwork beads. Interesting. Um, yeah, I also do some ceramics, and I've wanted to make some ceramic beads, but
That'd be lovely.
it's not as easy as you would think, because to glaze them, you have to make sure like the way you hang them and it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably make something for that so you don't get so stressed out.
I hope they do. Started beading around '08 or '09. I inherited a few materials from my cousin when she passed, so I was determined to teach myself in honor of her. I love it. That's great. It's always nice when you know somebody else who was interested in something and you can learn from them or like sort of pick up that torch and do that. And there's also a lot of older, I don't want to say older, but like there's a lot of techniques and arts and crafts that people used to do that people aren't really doing as much. So it's nice when you see like one generation, like the older generation, teach it to a younger generation. Yeah. I feel like knitting is like making a huge comeback.
Is it?
Well, I feel like when I was a kid learning how to knit, it was just something like my grandmother did. But now, like, everybody's knitting. So I feel like my fringe is pretty good. Yeah. Or my branching. Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. You have more of like a straight fringe. And how is yours coming along?
Good. I think I'm going to stop because my thread is running low.
Okay. That's a good plan. But I love what you did here. You have kind of like a pea in a pod sort of thing.
Oh,
yeah.
So cute.
And this is adorable. I
wasn't sure how it would
I've
lay.
never actually thought to do that, and I wish I had, but I'm jealous that you thought of this. Just doing a little picot trim on that. Ooh, so now I have some ideas for like a new kind of tutorial. Okay, I gotta remember this. So now what I'm going to do, I told you before, don't worry too much about the conversions here, like where your fringe meets the rest of your loop. Don't worry about it because we're going to cover it up. And I am covering up because when I did this the first time, I was like, I don't really like the way that looks. So what we're going to do now is just coming out of, you want to take your needle and thread and come to the base of your fringe, or I should say the top of your fringe, which would really be the base of that loop that you created. And you just want to come out, really out of any bead will be fine, just so that you're coming out at that point where it all kind of converges together. Yeah, it can be done both ways, yeah. And maybe some of you now have a use for some of those beads that you got in the 90s. So I'm going to pick up a number of seed beads. I'm going to say around 10 or so to start out with. Actually, you probably need a lot more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you're probably going to need more than that. It's not an exact number, but you're going to want enough beads that you can then just take them and loop them around. And just loop them around the project.
All 3 times?
No, just once.
Or one time.
So just one time. So just to make one loop of seed beads or circle of seed beads so that you can loop it around. And just like we did when we created the circle at the beginning, or that loop at the beginning. And I'm going to go through the seed beads again just to pull it tight.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter where you start it, where you're coming out of. You just want to pick up enough seed beads that you can pull it around take it around your whole project, but you don't want it to be loose.
Because then it's just sloppy.
Because then it's sloppy, and it's not doing the job of cinching everything together. We're basically, for those of you who do wire working, it's like adding the wraps, like at the base, the coils, yeah, like at the base of your eye, in the eye pin or something. So I went through my seed beads for this loop a couple times because I want to really reinforce it and pull it tight. Not really reinforcing it because I think it's gonna get a lot of wear and tear, but mostly just to pull everything together and cinch it together. Yeah, so I picked up 10 beads and that worked for me, but it's really just going to depend on whatever kind of fringe you made. So it's nice to have everything, all your fringes or your coralling or branching, come out of just a few different seed beads here on your loop. You can do as many as you want, but things are going to cinch together much better if you come out of, fewer amount of seed beads at the beginning.
Anna's using the 1G thread.
Oh yeah, so this is the 1G thread. So it's kind of silky and it drapes more, and it's going to give you a lot of like movement. Maybe movement was the word I was thinking of. It's going to give you a lot of movement in your fringe. And this one I used the Wildfire, but because the beads are so heavy, it works pretty much just as well because the beads weigh it down and cause it to have that movement. So now that I've created one little wrap, I'm going to create a second one. And the way that I did this, and I was pretty happy with it, was I'm going to pick up 3 11-0s. I found 3 worked really well, but this is one of those things where you can tweak it. And then I'm going to pass through 3 11-0s, loop around 3 11-0s. So basically a ladder stitch.
From the previous row?
Right,
or from the previous
little wrap or row, yeah. So I'm just going to sit those 3 beads. I know it's hard to see. I'm just going to sit the 3 beads right next to the 3 on my previous wrap.
That's a fabulous idea.
And then back through the 3 seed beads that I just added. And then that will be the beginning of my next little wrap. So if 10 worked for me and I have 3, I'll pick up another 6 or 7, and that'll get me about the right size wrap that I need. So I have 4. And all these seed beads, just let them fall down to your project. And then I'm going to wrap around all my beads here, wrap around my key fob, and back through those 3 seed beads, pull tight. And then I've created another loop or wrap of 11-0 seed beads on top of the one that I already added. So it can be a bit tricky because if your seed beads, if the wrap that you're making isn't tight enough, it can be kind of tricky to hold everything together. That's why I go through all of these beads several times, because then I can kind of work out any little kink or any little like area where it's not tight or if it's getting kind of tangled. So I would suggest doing at least 2. I'm going to do a third one because I think 3 looks really nice. But you can have a lot of fun with, you can do a contrasting color, that would look really nice. Or if you're doing 3, you could do a different color on the top and the bottom. How's yours working out, Jenny?
Good. When you step down to do your next row, do you do it in the same place as the first row? So you have that, if it makes a little seam, you have that all in one place?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think I did do that on this one. Or I might have just done it differently so it was a little bit more like staggered and irregular. Yeah.
That might be a good idea, to draw less attention to it if it's not real tight right there.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's a good point. Yeah, on that one, on the sample one that I did there, I did do it in different places.
Okay. Yeah, it'll tangle around the fringe.
Yeah, it's easy to get it tangled around the fringe.
Did you want to see it? There you go.
Yeah, show
Just the
everybody.
same.
Yeah, that's so cute though.
Thanks.
And ooh, that would actually look cute too if we did like a little drop coming from it. So many ideas.
So many ideas.
So many ideas. I really should be writing all these things down.
All right.
Well, I guess I could just watch the video later too. Yeah, paper-centered lampwork. I was kind of wondering about that too. Although, honestly, I didn't want to ask and sound like I didn't know what I was talking about.
Well, you would think that the paper would get burned away.
Yeah, so I was kind of wondering what the process was there, because the lampwork beads that I know about and that I've always used and seen made are the ones that have the like powder and, you know, made on a rod. That's, I guess it's, you know, that's why they're lampwork. But yeah, so paper center, that's interesting. Or, I mean, there's also the beads that you make out of paper, and those are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on just adding my third loop here. There is a paper skinny tube, oh, okay, that then lend add the clasp, okay, for the bead around juice. Oh, so, okay, yeah, I guess it seems like the cardboard or the paper would burn, but
Act as the powder.
yeah. So yeah, so that's what it acts as the powder, but I would think it would kind of burn, but I guess it's not that hot. Paper's more resilient than you think. Maybe it's like parchment paper.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's not just like, you know, loose leaf
Loose leaf,
paper.
which is where my mind went.
Yeah. Heavy duty paper. So there we go. So I just added 3 rings, one on top of each other. And that just kind of creates a nice little, just cinches everything together.
I love it.
Yeah. I know, it's such a simple thing, but it looks really good.
Mm-hmm. You could do even just a little tassel, seed bead tassel earring, and when you put that, those 3 at the top, it'll look like the whole thing, you know, just exactly like a tassel.
Yeah. Yes, there's so many possibilities for this. I love these simple techniques that you can use for so many different kinds of, you can use in so many different kinds of ways. There we go. So, yeah, and I love the way that I did the colors on this too. So, cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tie this off. And then I noticed, Jenny, that you did not add a ring at the, you didn't add like a lobster clasp or ring.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to assume you had some sort of a master plan.
Master plan.
You got a master plan, okay. Do you have your master plan? I have
It's
your
up by
master,
your arm.
I have your master plan. There's your master plan. And this is completely spontaneous.
I didn't plan it.
I didn't plan it at all.
Also, I'm not succeeding at it.
Well, let me see. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get my thread ends to meet.
Oh. Jenny's just trying to make ends meet over there.
Every day. All day, every day.
Just gave me idea, everyone. I made Sonoma Lampwork beads. They would go in a key fob for gifts. Yeah, key fobs are also really fun. Or key fobs. I don't know if is key fob the right word. I don't know. I called it a key fob, but
pretty dangle.
Key dangle.
Pretty dangle. So then it can be for anything.
But these are really good projects for people who either don't wear jewelry or for men I mean, you may not want to use pearls if you're doing it for a guy, for a manly man. So you may want to do something more like bone and wood or gemstones or something like that. But yeah, it's really fun.
So I didn't finish mine off yet, but I did it to put on this wax cotton cording that was in the box.
Yeah, I love the finished necklaces.
There we go.
Adorable. Yeah, so I don't know if that's in the view. It's hard to think. Yeah, so that's adorable. I love that you made it, and it's like, it's kind of like a ribbon effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really light and delicate. They're just talking amongst themselves about Lampwork beads. Yeah, so that's a really cool way to use that. And yeah, if you did coral, that would be fun. But yeah, but I love how light and airy this is. And what was the Sonoma necklace that I think Allie did with all the different seed beads, like colors and layers? You could do something like that where you pick up just multiple, yeah, like the pen idea too. Yeah, it's adorable. You could pick up like just layers of seed beads, tons of layers of seed beads, and make something like this. Make the loop maybe a little bit bigger just to accommodate however many, and slide that on. And it's a very light, airy look.
It's pretty.
So, yeah, a lot of fun. Well, I hope you all had fun and enjoyed something. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned something.
Do you want me to go back to this one?
Yeah. Cool. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Wasn't ready to see myself that big. Yeah. I hope you guys all had fun and had and learned something. Yeah. Check out the Facebook page, and if you make your own key fob or key fob flare or whatever it is that you're gonna make, or pendant. Oh yeah, they would be amazing earrings. Yeah, we're calling it a key fob because we're just switching up from jewelry. But yeah, you can do anything you want with that. Yeah, so join the Facebook group if you're not already on it. We have the one for beading and jewelry making as well as for the best bead box. So check it out, join. Remember to share and also like the video and share it. Do both those things, please. And yeah, take pictures of your own and share it with us so we can see all the fun stuff. Maybe incorporate some of your funky beads from the 1990s and show us some of your 1990 flair. Okay, we'll see you guys all whenever when we do the next
next time.
I was gonna say next week, but that's not true. Yeah, so we'll see you guys next time we're on for the unboxing for July.